Welcome to this new episode of Classic or Crapstick, where the theme of today is sweet. Ironic, because we picked the most bitter old film. Burt Lancaster stars as the vicious Broadway gossip columnist J.J. Hunsaker, and Tony Curtis as Sidney Falco, the principal press agent. Hunsaker ropes into smearing the up-and-coming jazz musician romancing his beloved sister. Long story short, brilliant, way darker and tougher than most films from the 50s. I love it to pieces.
Wow.
Let's pick this one.
I certainly am excited to pick Sweet November. Power-suited, plugged-in advertising executive Nelson Moss speed dials through life. But bubbly, eccentric Sarah Diva, part temptress, part sage, man. If she has her way, Nelson would be the newest in her series of human reclamation projects. She sounds kind of like a jerk.
Sounds like a serial killer.
Everybody needs to be like me. Each month, she shares her heart and her apartment with a troubled man.
What else does she share?
Expectations, no pressures, no strings, no falling in love. I bet that super happens and I'm so
Yay!
Don't turn your back on him. You might find a knife in it. This is their story, and that of the big shots and big names who worship the sweet smell of success.
What were your thoughts on the brilliant masterpiece that is The Sweet Smell of Success?
I feel like I liked it a lot, but I'm confused at why you loved it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Disappointed!
Basically, we follow around this, see if I caught most of it here.
All right, yeah.
Okay. Sidney is his name.
Yep, Sidney Falco.
Publicity agent.
Sure.
And you find out early on, like, this big upper newspaper guy, who also has a TV show, I think.
Yeah.
He's
Hunsaker.
a big news guy, and he doesn't want his sister to date anybody because he wants to be with his sister, it seems like.
It's creepy.
Anyway, he hires Falco to break up the relationship.
Conjugate me a verb, for instance, to promise. You promise to break up that romance. When?
You want something done, JJ, but I doubt if you yourself know what's involved.
I'm a schoolboy. Teach me.
Why don't you break it up yourself? You know you could do it in a couple minutes flat.
At this late date, you need explanations?
The fun thing about the script, too, is that it throws you in the middle of this.
Yeah.
And so, like, Sidney's already tried and failed to break up the couple, and JJ's already mad at him, and you don't really know why until probably 20 minutes in.
Which I kind of liked.
Mr. Falco, whom I did not invite to sit at this table tonight, is a hungry press agent and fully up to all the tricks of his very slimy trade. Match me, Sidney.
He seems very sure it's gonna work, but like a lot of things have to go right that are not in his control.
Well, and that was a funny thing too about this film, is that like his plan does kind of work, but not in the way expected.
No,
like, he planned to blackmail one reporter with this information, and that reporter just admitted in front of everyone, "Yeah, I screwed up, and this is embarrassing."
No, and that's why
use that to another
and that's
advantage.
why I loved that he was so sure of himself, because that's one part that I think that they developed well with that character, is that he says at the beginning he is done being a small guy. He's gonna play with the big boys, and so he acts like one of the big boys, but he is not smart enough to be one of them. So he's almost like he's one step behind himself all the time.
Yeah.
Tell him that, like yourself, he's got the scruples of a guinea pig and the morals of a gangster. What do I do now? Whistle Stars and Stripes forever?
What you do now, Mr. Falco, is crow like a hen. You have just laid an egg.
It was shot really nice.
Yes.
I like that kind of black and white, and I mentioned it right at the beginning. I was like, it makes me want to watch Psycho. Like, there's something about like a very specific, like, I don't know what it is, just with the contrast and like how everybody looks so smooth. I really like that.
Visually speaking, it's a great looking film without saying, "Hey, I'm a great looking film." I mean, most film noirs really call attention to their visuals because it's supposed to, and I love that. This one doesn't. It relies completely on its script being its selling point. Its style is the dialogue.
And I enjoyed that and also didn't enjoy it because I think it was written well, and I like those really, like, I know that's the style, like, talk really fast, have those little witty remarks that
every line is a clever metaphor.
Because it was written for them.
Yeah.
So everybody's that fast, of course. But I think people mistake quickly speaking for being clever and witty and whatnot. Like,
would often agree, but not with this one. This one could be in slow motion and it's still smart dialogue.
This one had a lot of smart dialogue. It also had a lot of eye-rolling dialogue.
Can you deliver?
Tonight, before you go to bed, cat's in a bag and the bag's in a river.
Sidney, the syrup you're giving out with. You pour over waffles, not J.J. Hunsaker.
My favorite, I think probably my favorite part of the movie, they have the main guy who's just a dirty jerk to get ahead the whole movie. And they almost make him look like he is about to have a heart. And then he gets a better offer, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, that sounds great to me. I really enjoyed that.
JJ, I swear to you on my mother's life, I wouldn't do that. Not if you gave me a column would I do a thing.
And who do you suppose writes the column while Susie and I are away for 3 months? The man on the moon? Thank you, Sidney.
Well, especially like, what is this? I think 1957. Like, most people weren't used to nowadays. We're used to a film or a TV show or something like fucking Breaking Bad, where the main character is an asshole. And we accept that. And then we go with this anti-hero kind of thing. Back in 1957, that wasn't that frequent. And there's no one to grab hold on in this movie.
They do, like, the one guy you should be grabbing hold on, like, you don't really like him either. Like,
no.
The boyfriend, I thought they did a good job of keeping you on the side of the bad guys.
Yeah.
Your column. To you, you're some kind of a national glory. But to me, and a lot of people like me, your slimy scandal and your phony patriotics, to me, Mr. Hunsaker, you're a national disgrace.
Son, I don't relish shooting mosquitoes with elephant guns. Suppose you just shuffle along and call it a day.
I didn't enjoy the performances as much.
Really? No!
Disappointed!
I really didn't like the sister, but she was barely in it, so that's okay.
I thought she was fine.
Yeah, but fine.
Oh,
the
romantic subplot is the weakest link of the chain, but then at the same time, this isn't a romance between the sister and the jazz musician. There's a romance between Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis. Yeah. It's just that only one of them loves the other one. And boy, does he love him.
If Sidney ever got anywhere near Susie, I'd take a baseball bat, break it over his head. Hey.
I thought the big brother, he was maybe my favorite.
Yeah, I thought he was awesome.
He didn't blow me away. If you would have replaced Tony Curtis in this movie with any other actor that could talk fast from like the 50s, I don't think it would have been any different. That's kind of what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like, he did fine in the role, but he didn't. I mean, after this discussion, I'm not going to remember his name except for you told me he's Jamie Lee Curtis's dad.
There's a really great moment where he finds out about an upcoming article by JJ about this talent that's really funny, and then decides to use that to trick that talent, and is thinking, I was the one that planted that article. I'm going to tell JJ what to say. Funny stuff like that reminded me of like Entourage, like Ari
Gold.
Wow, Ari Gold. Been a long time since I've seen that.
No, and that was good. Yeah.
JJ, hi, Sidney Falco. How are you, sweetheart?
Fine. Just fine, thanks. Look, I know it's late, but,
Is it too late to add something to your column? No relative, but very important. If you got a piece of paper and pencil, I can suggest a word or two. Good. If there's a more hilariously funny man around than Herbie Temple at the Palace, you'll pardon us for not catching his name. We were too busy laughing. No, make that, we were too busy screaming. Right.
Those black comedy bits work, I think, perfectly. The dramatic bits I also feel work perfectly, like when things start getting very dark at the end. But I can see how they might not, because the first time I saw it, I thought the last 20 minutes were pretty melodramatic. So since this was your first viewing, how did the last 20 minutes go for you?
They were not as fun and a little bit boring.
Okay.
I was also confused, like, did he just get...
Could be the one.
Okay. They left
They leave it up,
for-
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I mean, I liked it a lot.
That's good.
The most surprising part, I guess, was that you love it so much.
It's like pushing a Scorsese movie on someone. It's all about that style. And how often do we see a movie written like this? The last time that happened was in 1957. It never fucking happens anymore. The screenplay is written by like 40 nameless corporate drones in every movie. No one cares about the dialogue, and dialogue is meant to be realistic and subtle nowadays. Everything's supposed to be quiet and barely mentioned. Here, nothing's quiet. They're talking the whole way through.
Yeah.
And I love that about it. It's so different, and it sticks out like a sore, bitter, cynical thumb.
You know, it's a new wrinkle. To tell you the truth, I never thought I'd make a killing on some guy's integrity. I'd hate to take a bite out of you. You're a cookie full of arsenic.
All right, so does it deserve the status of a classic for you?
I think it's just a good movie.
Okay.
I think it will be considered a classic, which is just fine with me. There's plenty of classic movies that I think are just good movies, and unfortunately for the human race, I don't get to decide on that sort of thing for everybody. So,
Luckily, your opinion's always right, so it doesn't matter with the rest.
I looked this up, have never been wrong.
This would probably be in like my top 40 films now. I mean,
Really?
I fucking love it.
Glad
And
you found that in your life.